My name is Felicia, and this is Tiffany. We're in adult services at the Maxon Area Public Library. I mean, I'm assuming if you're here on our page, then you probably know we're with the library. Welcome to Spooky Stories, We Tell in the Dark. We'll be reading our stories submitted by people from all over. So get ready for some spooky fun.
Let's get started with some
All right,
stories.
here's the first story, submitted by Keep the Twist 32. It's quite a name. When I was 12, I lived on a military base, and the rumor was the housing was built on an old graveyard. Sometimes spooky things would happen that had no explanation, like doors closing by themselves. One night, my friend Missy from next door came by upset. She swore there was a ghost in her house. I didn't believe her, so I followed her to her house. She said her parents had gone out for the evening, and she was home alone. All the lights were on, and the radio in her bedroom was making a staticky noise. She swore she had put it on a regular radio station. I was sure she was playing a trick on me. So she turned off the radio and turned off all the lights in the house and came to my house. Not 30 minutes later, we heard loud music coming from her house. They were connecting townhomes and the walls were thin. So we went back to her house. Her parents still weren't back, but all the lights were on and the radio was on as well. And instead of music, there was a loud static sound again. And then the stations started changing by themselves. We ran out of the house, and she came to my house where we waited for her parents to come home. A week later, her mom had the place exorcised. Ooh. That's scary.
That's pretty spooky.
That's pretty bad.
All right, we can almost wrap up.
Passing the torch.
Let me get my spooky
Thank
scary
you.
story on. All right, so this spooky scary story is submitted by Galactic_Mermaid. Here we go. The group I go ghost hunting with decided to investigate an old haunted hotel in upstate New York this past summer. Socially distanced, of course. Well, there's something interesting happening to my friend there named Emily. There was a small room with a mirror in it, and the hotel staff warned us about it. If people weren't protected well enough, they would get attached to a demon that had come into the hotel via the basement portal, and sometimes would be channeled through. One of the guys in our crew looked into it and took photos and was fine. Then Emily, who can also sense spirits, went to look at it. Immediately, she seemed to zone out, staring at the mirror, and would not respond to anyone or anything trying to talk to her or get her attention. We couldn't move her away from the mirror either. Her friend finally came behind her with a crucifix she had, and when it touched her, when it touched Emily, Emily was able to finally zone back in and then move away from the mirror.
That's scary.
Ooh.
That's some freaky stuff.
Yeah, that's very freaky.
That's very freaky.
That's creepy.
Someone says flashlights are classic.
They are
LOL.
classic for telling
Spooky
stories.
indeed. Yeah, great time.
Around the campfire.
I love it.
Thanks. I'm sure that,
That's
what
her
was
comment.
Yeah, these are
Galactic
comments.
Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, they said nope, couldn't be me. Comment.
I could not either.
Nope, couldn't be me either. Ghost hunting. Nope. They
Okay.
can leave that on television.
Right.
They can, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And all that upstate New York.
All right. Here, this story was submitted by C. Vander. Shortly after becoming a widow, I moved to a new home. Some of my important papers were misplaced in the move. 2 years after I moved, I went to the garage and smelled cigarette smoke. My husband smoked and I do not. I searched for the source of the odor and it led me to a box. Inside the box was my original marriage license. And that's it.
Spooky.
Ooh,
That's a
Ooh.
spooky
that's
one.
spooky.
That's another spooky one.
Yes.
Who's ever like been somewhere and maybe smelled something that maybe
That's
wasn't
familiar,
around, right? A
that wasn't
familiar
around
smell, but
anymore.
you know it's not around. It reminds you of someone.
Yes.
That's a spooky one. And that's like you. Maybe
Yes.
not bad spooky, but just eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smell of
Who's
perfume.
around, right? So we
Someone
don't.
said, "Yikes,
We-
marriage."
We don't. That's spooky too. That is spooky also.
Ghostbusters did it best.
Okay, I have another story here, and I'm thinking it's pretty spooky. Submitted by Vice Dice 314. One day, during a regular routine check of the ground floor of the museum, me and a fellow officer walked into the play lab for the museum. She went on to tell me about the many ghosts that haunt the different floors that we have there. We walked the length of the play lab and made sure all of the doors were locked. Just as we flicked the light switch on the way out, we heard the sound of a child scream from the back of the play lab. We looked at each other as we had just done a tour of the play lab, and no one was inside but us two. I walked back into the play lab and thought, had someone slipped into the lab without us knowing? Impossible. I did another sweep of the lab, and just as before, no one was there. My fellow officer said to me, see, I told you we had ghosts, and now they are making themselves known as in the form of children.
I know, right?
That's spooky.
Well, we know
We
what
don't-
museums got play labs.
They got play labs,
Yeah.
and museums, I'm sure, have little
I wonder
bitty
how many
children
people have
ghosts.
died in museums.
Or just on the grounds and the museums are built.
Yeah, that's
Who
true.
knows?
They're so old.
It's so
Yeah,
spooky.
very
It's like
old.
being in a library.
I wanna get-
And like, pass that torch
Someone
back.
said, children, no. They
Children,
said, who made the sound then? This one is especially spooky, LOL.
children ghosts are spooky.
That one was scary, not spooky.
That one was a little
Scary.
scary, right?
Yeah.
LMAO, not
Maybe-
the
maybe-
library.
Maybe we'll be staying awake a little later tonight. Okay,
That's what they're coming.
next up,
Next up.
I'm gonna take a s'mores break in a minute.
Actually, a break doesn't sound bad. I want to take a quick drink.
We have a s'more, okay, so real quick,
S'mores break.
let's do a quick recipe real quick.
Let me have
We'll
another
throw this
one.
out there.
Okay, I'll eat a s'mores.
You would show us, if you, we have our nicely wrapped s'mores packets here that we had to make because we're doing, and we have them for guests. We do have guests here.
Gotta open
Yes,
it
make
up.
some
I know,
noise
right?
for us. Yay! There are people here with us,
Yay!
just guests here, but thanks for joining us, everybody. But we are enjoying these s'mores that we made without a
They're delicious.
campfire.
I know, without
Thank you.
campfire.
So the quick little cute recipe for that one is.
It's
Having that
so
s'more, huh?
sticky.
Yeah.
Is to basically get you a nice little foil packet and drop graham
It's
crackers,
so sticky.
chocolate, and some marshmallows. Stick them in a toaster oven under broil. Let them get
They
nice
say
and
yummy.
toasted brown.
They said we appreciate you
And
all.
then you top that off with another graham cracker on top. And then now,
Delicious.
She got hers out. I don't think I'm gonna manage to get
now I'm
mine
gonna take a bite. So excuse me.
out. Right. Wow.
That's good.
Mm.
It is gooey.
I haven't had s'mores in so long.
Years
last
for
week.
me.
Last week.
Years.
I love it so much. I just had a, excuse the chocolate on my face, but I do have some. I think I'm up the story.
And marshmallow. Oh, God.
But they're always good for spooky stories for campground day.
I was gonna submit a couple, but they were too spooky.
To be like that.
You
We're gonna do this
should
again.
have. This is
Yeah, I'm
a.
gonna
Do
know
you
this.
see this story? It's a
This is
whole.
what- here's what I wanna know. This summer, we're gonna be doing some more kind of like outdoor camping sort of situations. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll do some more events like this.
Because the summer theme is gonna be camping, so hopefully we'll be able to do this outside with more people.
Yeah, it should be warmer, and if you have some more stories in, maybe we don't, we'll figure it out. Stay tuned for that, we got some things
Stay
coming up.
tuned.
Stay tuned, so, who's next, is it me?
Me.
Okay.
And I done put the like
You
down
see me
there.
like, I'm trying to get the marshmallow off my face.
Someone
Who is
said, girl, that's a whole book.
it? It's gonna go quick though, trust
They
me.
said, wow, they look so fresh, like y'all just made them.
We just
We
made
did
these
just make
We
them.
just made these forms and they are delicious.
We did.
How many,
I
Tiffany
must
made
say.
them perfect.
how many people you have so far?
Alicia
Ooh.
topped them off. Here we have about,
8.
okay, I'm like, how many?
We have 8 people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yep, we have
nice.
8,
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. We got a lot more stories to go, so don't worry.
All right, it's time to read the book of a story.
Not the spooky book.
All right. Submitted by Kappa Kitty. When I was in elementary school and my sister was in high school, we would often visit the woods that were in our neighborhood. We would like to play around, to do things, all fun kids stuff, explore. So my sister, our friend, and me went to this one area of the woods that we like to call the island because you had to cross a little creek to get to it. And while we were playing there, my sister tripped over something that looked like 4 fingers sticking out of the ground. Of course, we thought it was a baby, so being the young minds we were, we dug it up.
Digging up baby.
I know, right?
Young minds, I would have run.
I know,
You
me
have to
too.
call the police if you found
Call
baby
police if you
fingers
find- yeah.
buried.
Well, it turns out that it was a deformed baby doll.
Oh, I was about to say, this is getting worse.
I know.
Okay.
It looks like his head was smashed in, and it was one of those baby dolls that were molded plastic that the arms or legs couldn't bend.
Mm.
This is important for later. So, we decided that the doll was abandoned, and we should take it home and keep it as our own.
This is so special. Keep
The
it
doll
out.
was extremely dirty, so we came up with the plan to come back the next day with some cleaning supplies, clean it up, and take it home. So we hid the doll, went home, came back the next day with the cleaning supplies, and the doll was not where we left it.
Mm.
We just assumed someone found it, threw it away,
Shucks.
took it home, or
Right,
it
Chucky.
just did something with it. We kind of shrugged it off on our way back home that evening. We found the doll again, laying in the same shallow grave that we dug it up from the day before. Of course, it was a little creepy, but we just chalked it up to someone maybe moved it, or one of us were playing a joke, so we didn't take it seriously. We cleaned the doll up and took it home. At the time, we were living in a new house and my mom was adamant about keeping the house clean. So we hid the doll in our closet because we thought for sure my mom would tell us just to throw it away because it was a dirty old doll. So weird stuff started happening. Not majorly weird, like the doll kept ending up in the bed that we were sleeping in. Me and my sister shared a bed at the time, and every morning the doll would be in the bed with us.
Creepy.
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 Again, we both chalked it up to the other party playing a trick, but then bad stuff started happening. Like when my sister started getting in trouble at school, our friend, the one who was with us when we retrieved the doll, got suspended.
Mm.
Finally, we said enough is enough. We have to get rid of this doll because we really started to believe the doll was the cause of our problems. So the day that we all agreed to get rid of the doll, I will never forget this as long as I live. Please remember, this was a plastic mold doll that the legs and the arms did not move. I kid you not, that doll was waiting for us, sitting in the chair that my parents kept on the porch. That was one of the most terrifying moments of my young life. We cut up the doll and threw it down the sewer, and things slowly started to go back to normal. So yeah, don't take strange dolls you find in the woods home.
Yeah, that's a good lesson to take.
Don't take any creepy dolls, like,
I wanna know, like.
No,
did
but
you-
the creepiest thing is for them to cut it out.
I
That
know
was where
that,
I was
to
going
cut it
too.
up,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, did you ever play with dolls again? And then why did we cut it up? It got
Yeah.
so violent.
they wanted to make sure,
It
you
got
know.
so, it got down the sewer. I guess you took care of business.
Someone said not they cut it up,
They cut it
they
up.
said mommy knows best.
They cut that doll up. I didn't like the fact that doll was waiting for them on the porch.
Yeah.
That's what I- Like, I didn't like that. I thought it was in the bed every day.
Right.
All of a sudden it comes outside. It's just that is good.
And sleeping with
Good
us?
job
I like
getting
that.
rid of that dog.
Someone said, I wish we had librarians like y'all when I was a kid. Y'all killing it.
Thank you. We're here now for kids and adults.
Someone said,
Come
nope,
down to the
you
National
said
Library.
woods, I'm out.
Slowly.
Not they cut it up. The
Through
entire
the
story was
woods.
creepy and triggering.
I feel like these stories are getting more and more
Are
creepy.
they getting
They
more
are.
I'm gonna
creepy?
say
They
that.
are
It seems like
creepy.
I can't rank them because it seems like each one's getting more
Yeah, it
creepy.
is. And this
Wow.
is really random that we're picking them.
And they were all
Oh,
submitted.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we just, yeah.
These are stories
They're
that
not
were
in any
submitted.
order.
Yeah, these are
Just-
submitted by people
Yeah.
that want to submit spooky stories. So these are.
We framed
Real
them out and
stories.
just gave each other whatever.
Yep. All right. So next story up. Let's see how spooky we can get. This one's submitted by Kenia. Here we go. While I was in high school, my room was located in my parents' basement all the way until I moved out. We had 2 dogs at the time, and their room was out in the basement. It was a fairly late night, and I went to the bathroom and then stopped by their gate, the dog's gate. While I was visiting with them, I heard footsteps coming down the basement stairs, and no one was there. It was so freaky, so super dark in the basement. I ran to my room and locked the door. My friends have always felt that my parents' basement very scary. Who here does not have a scary basement?
I know.
All
A
basements
murder
are scary,
basement.
right? Who grew up with a scary basement?
I grew up with,
Definitely.
That for some reason we kept a lot of things down and then we had to go retrieve. I don't know. It's
I
something
had to
about
play in the basement at my old
right,
house.
right.
My
Yeah.
parents' old house in the city,
That was the playroom.
that was my playroom. My toys were down there, my tricycle, I used to ride my bike down there.
Wait.
I was so little.
Maybe your parents were designing it to be spooky. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to break the spooky generational curse. Maybe
No.
like let the little girl down there and play and make it happy.
Yeah.
Like, basements can be spooky. I think that's because they're so dark and dank, and
Yeah,
if it's like a half finished basement too, you're all
this
like,
stuff was like.
No.
right, you're all like, what's
One of
behind
those
these
old
blocks?
fashioned
Yeah,
basements.
so
that had
I guess.
we had a coal furnace. And there's a coal room next to the furnace, and it
Oh.
always was dark down there, and it was so scary.
And it's like, please
That
don't send me to that
sounds
room.
terrible.
Right, that's the one time somebody's like, go down to the basement and you're like, not me, can we go on numbers? Okay, so,
So, some comments.
where's some comments? Let's move on to
Congratulations, you guys are officially the best library.
Sweet.
Oh.
Thank you, we
They
appreciate that.
Yes, they said, do y'all screen these stories beforehand? No, we did not. We didn't.
We went
kinda
hardcore tonight.
We
just-
kinda looked at
We're
them.
giving it to you live in action, we're not screening.
Someone said I need to visit this location.
Come on
Ooh,
down, we're in
Kenya.
Madison, Illinois.
I always felt that. I'm mad that you wrote this. I told you I felt that when I spent the night at your place.
Wait, who wrote that?
So the
That's
basements
funny.
are always so mysterious and scary. Yeah,
Oh, I see someone talked about a scary attic.
yeah,
My
scary attic.
grandmother had a scary attic
We had a scary attic too.
with the pull
The
down.
old house again.
With the pull
Mhm,
downstairs,
the
where
pull
you're like, this
downstairs.
is just not right. And
I
then for
remember
some
that.
reason, yeah, what is it about? I don't know. I wonder, is there a difference between basement dwelling ghost and attic dwelling ghost? You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's a difference? I can't think if I can come up with any real
attic or basement dwelling
experiences
ghosts.
because they both
They're
seem
both
to be just
spooky.
right,
Yeah.
creepy. They're just
But most
creepy.
kids don't hang up in the attic, they'll hang
They
in the
don't,
basement
but you know,
before they
Yeah,
it's one of
attic.
those where you get sent. I know we were like sent to retrieve something, and it was like, this is just.
In the attic.
In the attic. Cause some people store stuff in the
Yeah.
attic too.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah,
so I
you have
remember
to
that,
go up
yeah.
there and
I
get
remember,
something,
yeah,
according
we
to
had
the
to go.
kids.
Not
They was
ours.
sent, because the staircase was rickety, and we're probably gonna hold 2 rounds, that's probably why, because that little rickety pull that little rickety staircase down, and somehow climb over and survive.
And my
Mm-mm.
parents' old house attic, it was huge, the door was huge.
It was like a regular.
Yeah, it was almost like a big garage door or something, and the stairs
Mhm.
went up. So it was just like, and it was in my room.
But
Oh,
why is
see.
her home? Her playroom was in the basement. I'm talking to her parents.
No,
Her, her bedroom was in the attic, the spooky room. I see-
practically.
I can see why you wanted to do spooky stories.
That's why she don't do the basement.
That's why she's doing
I
spooky
don't
stories
like
too,
them.
though.
Did
I
you all
can
see
see why.
that, Geico commercial about the man, black guy that bought the house and?
Yes,
Listen.
yes, and it sees the,
He
it
said,
sees
"Welcome
all
to
the
your
dummy-
house."
all the mannequins, and he's like,
Oh,
you
He
just
said,
got
no,
it.
no,
Oh my
no.
gosh, and the Geico thing's all like,
And the guy
I'm
said,
leaving.
the little Geico,
Yeah, you all see that
the
commercial?
lizard said, oh, welcome to your new home.
Yes,
And the
Geico
guy said, no,
insurance
mm-mm,
no.
no.
Some spooky commercial.
I know, right?
Alrighty, so
All
let's
right.
get us another story going, spooky
Here we
time
go.
continues.
This one submitted by Lucky Red.
Lucky Red.
When I was newly married, I was returning home from a road trip with my husband. We started to make a pit stop at a nearby gas station on our way home. When we got there, I went into the restroom because I was pregnant and about to get back on the road for a long trip home. And my husband went to buy us some food to take along with us on the way. When trying to leave the restroom after I was done, I could not get the door open no matter how hard I tried. I pulled and pulled and it just would not open. I began banging on the door so that my husband and the gas station attendant would hear me knocking on the door. I could hear them both on the other side of the door trying to open it. Turning the knob, banging and knocking on the actual door, and to no avail, it would not open. Finally, they asked me to move back from the door so that they could kick the door in. They kicked it, and nothing happened. We all stepped back from the door again, as they were going to kick it again, and oddly and early, the door strangely opened. I stepped out, and none of us could explain what could have happened. We then continued on our way back home on our road trip. Traveling home, the road was now closed. This was due to a 12-car accident we saw that had just occurred and that we had just missed because I was stuck in the bathroom.
Wow.
We don't know why this strange incident occurred or what locked me in the bathroom, but it definitely protected me and my family, and I went to have my baby girl.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like a divine intervention.
I'm gonna say, that's
I
not
believe
even like
that's
a
divine
ghost story, that's
intervention.
divine
That's
Yeah,
intervention,
that's right.
yeah.
So I guess it's less spooky and more inspirational.
Oh, God.
That was,
Protection.
Right?
that
That's
was,
a good
yeah,
one.
yes it
Good.
was.
Woo! One
Yeah, that
good
was a
story,
good
but
one.
let's see if we get spookier.
That was
All
not
right.
creepy at
It's
all.
time that gets.
Mhm.
Yeah, right, it's time.
Divine
Okay. Alrighty, so I have one here, another one submitted by Vice Dice 314. One night, I woke up to a strange noise in the infinite darkness of my room. I stirred in my bed when, without warning, my bed began to glow a bright blue, as if I was lying on a blanket of electricity. I jumped out of bed and stared, startled in disbelief at what I was seeing. To this day, this strange occurrence could not be explained. That's like a Twilight Zone, right? Anybody have something like that, like something just really random happened, like
Right.
really weird, where you're just like, this has to be, like I almost had to discuss it with somebody because it seems so strange, but also I want to erase it from my mind because it was so strange.
It was
That
too
one sounds
strange.
like one of those, right? Because electricity, I don't blame you for jumping out the bed. I probably would have, right? Because I'd have been like, what's happening?
Or
What kind of,
slept in a different room.
was this prior to, I hope this happened prior to Stranger Things. Because that would have made me think I was going into another realm, right? I was like, not me, don't take me. That was a good one. Oh, we got somebody here. Somebody else is coming. Sorry, Ed. Somebody else coming to our story of it.
Should we open the door?
I know, right? I hope
I
it's not
know.
a-
They just
I
walked
hope it's
away.
not a, yeah, we hope this doesn't turn into a spooky story.
I know, right? Let's not turn it into one.
Let's hope that this stage is spooky storytelling and not spooky story happening.
Nice. Got some decent stories, yeah.
Got some stories.
They said these are nice ones.
There may be another one coming up.
I know, right?
Happening
What
in real
happening
time.
as we're sitting
I
here.
know. It is. So
I
In the
got so
meantime,
many, I
between
should have
time.
submitted at least
You
3.
should.
I really think we should do it again. So if you don't mind,
Yeah.
and if you don't mind, if you wanna submit it still, if you too wanna submit your story still, because we have until the end of October. If you wanted to submit it, just send it to that email for us and we'll probably get it, yeah, we'll somehow,
At MAPOD.
say that one more time for me.
ASDEPT@MAPLD.org.
How
That's
you
a
go.
lot.
It's a lot, but you'll also see it
Even
on
though
our
it's not.
website and our social media pages. If you wanna submit a spooky story that happened to you, by the end of the month, please do so to the Adult Services Department of Matson Public Library, and we will probably get a chance to do this again, because this is pretty fun. and
This
pretty-
is fun.
Mhm.
Hopefully more
spooky.
people.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
You don't have anything happening exactly on Halloween, do you? Oh, well, you're
No.
not.
We don't, because it's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday, yeah,
it's a
we're not
Sunday,
open
so
on
we're trying to
Sunday.
get, so tomorrow though, between time, I'm gonna do a shameless plug real quick. The Village of Matson, we've teamed up with the Village and the Community Center, and we're having a spooky haunted house. If you have not seen flyers around regarding this, there's a spooky haunted house coming up at the old Community Center in Matson.
It's
Please
free
go
of
to
charge?
our
No,
website.
it's $4.
Yeah, this is a fundraiser for FYI.
$5 at the place, so it's not very expensive.
It's
It's
not
just a
expensive.
little, just a little something,
It's a
something.
little something for the FYI organization, but sponsored through the Village of Matheson, the Community Center of Matheson, and us here at the Matheson Public Library. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we'll be having a spooky haunted house. Come and get some fun, some scares, some activities. All are invited, and we hope to see you there. So that's my shameless plug for now.
For now.
For now,
For
I'll probably
now.
have more. So let's continue being spooky though.
All right, I think we got about 2 more stories left.
Yes, I got one. You got one?
I got one.
Oh, that person wasn't here for the spooky?
I think he was here to study.
I think so too, they had a backpack.
Oh,
on.
okay.
They said, ooh, I want to submit a spooky
That could have been a
story.
spooky story. Please,
I
please,
know,
yes.
someone said, don't
stories.
become a victim of the stories.
We don't want to be a victim.
No.
And we don't want you watching it in real
Someone said,
time.
gotta get the shameless
Okay.
plug.
Alright.
Last
We got
two
security
stories.
here.
Security's in the house.
Security's
If you do
here.
want to come down and be spooky, but not in the right way, security's here. But that's all right.
Security
I'm feeling
spook you
safe.
out.
Right. You don't wanna get
We feel safe. Right, we feel safe. We're
All
secure.
right, yeah,
Right.
we're secure, we're fine.
Right.
We got an eye on the door too, so we're good. All right, I'm watching. All right, so this is submitted by Akenia. When I was in high school, for a while, I used to sleep in the same room as my little sister. One night, we were up later than we should be, and we were talking. Then all of a sudden, we started to see little balls of light. They were kind of faint, but just enough that we could see. I told her, I think those might be ghosts. At first, we were in awe of them, but then we started to get scared. My sister hid under her covers first, and then I turned over and went under the covers too. Next thing I heard my sister say, "It's under the covers with me, I'm scared." I told her to just close her eyes and try to go to sleep. At some point, we both drifted off to sleep and didn't see the balls of light anymore.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's a bit much.
That's
Those-
too much.
When you see those little balls of like, you see them in the summertime, they're like little flower petals, but you see them in, what are they called? Not sprites, but like.
Like little
Right.
globes.
Right, like
Or
you see
aren't
like the
they
little,
ghost light too?
what was that, it was a cartoon movie, Frozen. And remember the little wisp
And
in the
Frozen.
forest, what are they called? The little wisp
I
in the
think they were
forest, you're
something
talking
like
about?
was,
Yeah, cause they're like fairies
forgot.
that used to be or should be fairies at some point or something, but it's spooky. Cause then especially when it's a little sibling involved, it's easy to, like, so it's not
Especially
just
when
me.
two people see it,
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
like,
just
so
me.
I'm not the only one seeing it,
So I'm not the oddball out.
but now, that means it's more real, so we gotta
Yes.
get nervous. Alright,
There you go.
get my spooky on. Okay, here's another spooky story, and this one's submitted by Galactic_Mermaid, again. And I'm gonna point out that these names have been changed for privacy reasons. Here we go, this one's spooky. My group of ghost hunters and I, pre-COVID, were investigating an old bed and breakfast. 3 people sensitive to sprites, three people sensitive to spirits were there. Emily, Lauren, and myself. In one of the bedrooms we were investigating that night, all three of us sensed something bad at the same time. When acknowledged, Lauren felt something grab her arm. There were 9 other people in this room and none of them were touching her. Still, her arm moved forward in front of her and started getting dragged towards the floor. No one could go near her arm in question, sensitive or not, without feeling like they were going near a fire. All 3 sensitives could feel whatever it was getting stronger and stronger, and were trying to get everyone to evacuate before anyone else got grabbed. I blacked out for about 30 seconds and don't remember anything, but on camera, I can be seen hyperventilating on the bed, repeating, "It's not a person, it's not a person." When whatever had grabbed Lauren finally let go, there were 3 long, red, claw-like marks going down her forearm.
That's some.
That's creepy.
Woo! That's crazy.
Demonic.
That's demonic.
real
That is.
creepy.
Don't be messing with that stuff.
Right. We ended this last story.
Just say no.
That was spooky.
That was
And everybody
scary.
in it, I hope they're okay, because I
Yes.
don't like left behind ghost marks. I didn't like
Like, that's
the
terrible.
whole fire. Zoned out. It's not, what did you say? It's not in. When did she just like, she's zoned out and said, wait, I gotta see her. She was on camera and she could be seen repeating, "It's not a person. It's
What?
not a person."
It's not a person. Nope.
Are you still ghost hunting?
No, right.
I don't know. That would have probably stopped me.
me.
That would have stopped me. This story enough. Thank you so much to everybody seriously who submitted these, because these are really good ghost stories. But this story alone will make me not ghost hunt, go to bed and breakfasts, hang out with 9 people or more. It's all kind of rambling. This story that I probably would be like, these are the things that put
Baby
together
body said.
red claws on your arm. I don't like that. That's a spooky story. I do want to thank everybody for submitting, because we got some good stories. I think.
Someone said they're hypersensitive.
Well, I think
I'm
anybody.
glad that ain't happened to me.
If you got a demon holding onto your arm feeling like fire, I think anybody would be sensitive to that. So I'm gonna hope that happens to no one else.
Yes.
Right,
They
yeah, right.
said you had to
Nothing but the
recap
blood.
the story.
Oh yeah. Did you see me
I
pick
know,
that
right?
back up?
Hold on, let me find that story.
And I put it back down. I don't want to hold it anymore. But hands off. We don't need to be close anymore. I'm done with that story. But that was spooky.
Yeah,
That was spooky.
there was some great
There
stories.
were some great stories in there. I appreciate everybody for submitting their. Ooh. You can't really clap at the end of a spooky story, so I guess we can all
We
do
can
a-
go.
Ooh. Yeah, we're all like lost in transmission, like. Oh, happy it's done, but I don't know.
I know,
I
right?
don't know. So again, if you have a spooky story that you want to share, because we are still in the month of Spooktober at this point,
October.
please send it to us via email, or you can jump on our social media and send us a short story if you don't mind. We would definitely try to get it out into the world. We do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody that came out tonight, we appreciate
Yes,
that.
thank you to our guests.
Yeah, thank you, yes, everybody for
For
coming out.
braving the darkness.
Yeah, for braving the darkness, but we did get some yummy s'mores involved.
I didn't finish
So-
mine some more.
Yeah,
I
my
did not,
smells
I
good.
gotta admit, I didn't finish it only because on camera, I don't know if I want you guys
Oh
to
no,
see
I was
that.
like, I'm about to, you know.
But it's about to go down, as soon as the camera's off. As soon as the camera's
Well,
off, I'll
yes.
face. But
Thank you everybody
Thanks for
that
coming
watched
out.
and commented, and this was a lot of
this
fun.
was a lot of fun, we do appreciate that. Anybody, now, I gotta throw this out, shameless plugging time.
Shameless plug
Don't forget
time.
tomorrow, the Village of Madison, the Community Center of Madison, and the Matheson Public Library are having a spooky haunted house that will be at the old community center from 6 o'clock p.m. until 8 o'clock next door to Matheson's Public Library. So please come check us out. It's a great fundraiser for FYI with the police department here. And we're very supportive of all of that, and we want you to join us. And anything else coming up that we want to talk about soon, we're looking out for our next newsletter.
Yep.
And all our events for the
Coming
winter.
out for the winter,
Will be coming
December,
out.
starting December. I think that's about it. Check our website for more upcoming events that you may want to do, sign up for. And I think, yep, that's
Got
it,
some
y'all.
fun stuff coming up. Just check us out. We got
Yep,
some
check
escape
us out.
rooms coming up, some,
Got an escape room
after
coming
our
up in
movies
December.
coming up in November. We just got a lot of some fun stuff coming up. Actually, tomorrow we are doing CPR training here. So if you're part of that, thanks for joining us for that. I'm certified for that. That's a very cool thing.
Adult,
Yeah, registration only is
adult
on our
activities coming up
website.
soon.
Yeah, just we do have a pizza party thing coming up. There's a couple spots left for that.
That's
You have a
November
craft.
11th. Yep. That's November 22nd. We're making
Yeah,
some picture frame wreaths.
Not a ton this November.
Not a ton yet, so just look out for our next year, well, next newsletter, which will be December through
Yeah,
February.
genealogy classes for like family tree coming up, if you wanna do those in November. Yeah, I think that's about
We
it.
still got a
Couple
lot.
story
We got a lot.
time,
It's
story
things coming
time.
up, every
Book discussion.
adults and our youth service department definitely have a lot coming up. We actually have, International Games Week is coming
Oh,
up.
coming up in November.
So,
Oh,
our
A
colleagues.
week long of games.
Yeah, they
going
planned
on.
some fantastic games. I think there's a Dungeons and Dragons gaming day, there's a Uno tournament. day,
Monopoly,
Monopoly
Cards
tournament
Against
day.
Humanity.
Yeah, Cards Against Humanity Day, so please check our website for that, I believe it's the 7 through the 14th.
Yes.
So check our website for
Yep.
that, we have some wonderful things coming up with that, and they have some great prizes coming up with that. So we just got a lot of fun stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Check your website, give us a call, oh yes, and we also have books, so.
And movies and CDs and.
Make sure if you wanna check any of that stuff out, we are here for that stuff too, but we're here for it all. Well, not at all, but.
Yeah.
the stuff the libraries do, which are more than just books, but also books, so thanks again for tuning in.
Yep, there's
And-
actually a chess coming up too during
Oh.
that time.
Sure is.
Someone said chess, we got chess every Wednesday also.
Mr. Joseph, if
With
you
Mr.
know him,
Joseph, yeah.
yep, Bidwist every
Bidwist-
Wednesday, we have
Bidwist on
Bidwist group,
Wednesday.
we have
Jeez.
yoga every other Monday.
We got a lot
so-
going on.
We do, we got a lot going on, just
Got
check
a
us
lot.
out. But please check our website, always give us a call, we're pretty much always here, like we are now. So, just give us a call, but during business hours, you
Every
always pretty
Wednesday.
much hit us on email and social media too. So we appreciate you watching, and thank you again for everybody coming out. Enjoy some s'mores, have a great night.
Have a
Happy
good night,
holidays.
everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Let's find out how to end this, so I don't know.